scared the shit out of me. The fuck are you doing here?
Did you think about what I told you?
No, I haven't thought about it. No, you need to spend the money to have a better car. So why would I spend $20,000 on a pleasure car when I can just spend 10 and be super happy?
What do you think about that? Drop a comment, let me know. Hi everyone and welcome to God Save the Wheels. A couple of weeks ago I did a video that the link is just right there, where I was discussing what I was seeing as being the best investment for you today in terms of cars. I invite you to watch that video because it may give a little bit of context about what I'm going to be discussing today. Any car can become collectible with time, and there is one very simple reason to that. It's not so much about the number of cars produced, the specs of the car, the performance or anything like that. It's all about the condition. I think we are going into kind of a triumph of the every people car. Now, any car from the 80s, 90s, 2000 and maybe even 2010, regardless of the number of cars produced. I would even say the more it was produced, the better it is. Because if you are able to find a car that was mass produced, that was purchased by people to be used and abused, but you find one that is in perfect condition, this can become even more rare than any Porsche 911 of your average dealer or any car you can just find on Craigslist or whatever. Let's take for instance that 1987 Mercedes-Benz 560 SEC that sold on Bring a Trailer just about a few months ago. It was showing 12,000 miles, just only 12,000 miles for a 560 SEC. That's pretty hard to find, and look at that, it sold for $101,000. Also earlier this year, look at that 1982 Mercedes 300 TD Turbo. This car sold for $99,500. Why? Because it has 57,000 miles and it seems to be in perfect condition. If we compare it to what Classic.com tells us, this is pretty much 5 times the price. And again, why? Because low mileage, amazing condition, and that time capsule feeling. Let's keep going with a little more example, and one that I know pretty well because let's look at those Volvo 240s. So if we look at that 1993 Volvo 240 wagon that sold back in 2022, it sold for $42,000. Once again, if we take the number of Classic.com, we have an average selling price of just under $12,000. So this is another time, pretty much 4 times the price. This is huge. And again, what are the reasons? Low mileage, it's not even a manual gearbox, and it's in amazing condition. Now if you tell me maybe it doesn't work with sportier cars or anything like that, there is one car that all of us car enthusiasts who love to drive, who love manual gearbox, have thought about. This is the Porsche Boxster. I know no one wants to admit it, it's fine, but we all thought about it. So let's take the example of the Porsche Boxster 986, a Boxster S manual gearbox. Bring a Trailer not so long ago, one sold for $27,000. The car has 28,000 miles, it has a manual gearbox, it's the S version. It's a beautiful cobalt blue metallic paint. I mean, it seems to be an amazing little car. And again, if we check on Classic.com, those Porsche Boxster S manual gearbox have an average selling price of $18,000. So this is not as huge as a difference as the previous examples, but still, for us who have a budget of maybe $15,000 to $20,000 to invest in a car, this can make a big difference the day you sell it. I would consider that with the rise of online auction websites like Bring a Trailer, there has been a creeping amount of every people car becoming collectible. I think I can safely say that any car that's from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s today, if it's in perfect condition, even though it was a family car, even though it was just a car that doesn't have a lot of importance, if it is just in perfect condition and what we can consider as being a time capsule, it will usually carry a big value. If you are thinking about buying a second car for pleasure, or maybe your everyday car, and you want it to be kind of an investment where you will keep its value or maybe even increase its value, I would suggest you to, first of all, obviously buy something that you really love, and second of all, to buy something in the best condition you can get. Again, a $20,000 budget spent on a car that is in perfect condition is always going to be a better investment than trying to get something for $20,000. Buy a car for its condition. Do not buy a car for the model. This is one of the biggest mistakes you would be doing. If you just want to buy a car and a certain model and you're like, oh, maybe I can afford a lower end of that model, you will get lost. You will not enjoy the car, you will not enjoy driving it, you will not enjoy owning it, and you will probably lose money at the end, because since you didn't enjoy it, you want to invest in it and you will just sell it at some point and be like, I just want to get rid of it. Whereas if you buy something that is in perfect condition, you will just want to maintain it as perfect as it is and enjoy it as it is. And then the day you will sell it, if you sell it, you will be in a position where you're bringing back into the market a car that is in perfect example. And again, if it's a mass-produced car, if it's an every people car, this will have a certain value just by the fact that it is in perfect condition. And the great thing with those 1980s, 90s and 2000 car is that if you find one in perfect condition, it is something you feel even more when you are driving it. I'm not even going to get into the fact that maybe those cars were better built than today or whatever. I already discussed all of those matters. I'm just saying that the feeling you will get by driving a car that is maybe 30 or even 40 years old, but that's gonna be in perfect condition. Kind of like a time capsule. It feels like the Christmas movie that you watch once a year, but when you're watching it, you just feel like nostalgic just by watching it. This is exactly the same with cars. If you buy something that is old enough, but in perfect condition, it hasn't aged, it's timeless. This is a feeling that is very rare to find. So for us, for maybe our generation of prospective collectors, I think the type of car that we will be focusing on are those 1980s, 90s and 2000 car that are in perfect condition. Just go find that car that you love, but find it in the perfect condition and be realistic with your budget, obviously. Anyways, I hope that video was interesting to you. Please let me know in the comments what you think about it. Share maybe an experience with a car that you purchased a long time ago, or maybe a car that your family had and one day you sold it and you didn't even know it was worth that much money, or just share your experience. I hope you also enjoyed that little introduction. I wanted to have fun with it, so I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't hesitate to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you very soon.